Hello, and welcome back to What If Civilization Started in America, Chapter 3. And this is the map right now. We have a grand total of 5 whole countries. Wow. There's going to be some new ones this episode, and I think we're going to get a lot more of the map, discovered, especially like in this area. Not going all the way to Europe yet. That is quite a bit later in the story. Last episode, we ended up on religion, seeing like the world's first religion. I guess it didn't like just happen, but like the expansion of the religion is happening like side by side. But I've only just kind of showed it because I've been focused on other things. But we're also gonna, start here. We're gonna have our second religion, and unlike the dark red religion, which is kind of like I want to say like a version of like similar to Christianity, but it's like an Abrahamic faith in a way. Like it's got one God, very like one God. I don't really know how else to describe it. Whereas this religion, originating in the Floridian nation, it's more multi-God. It's like very like almost like paganism kind of, but nonetheless, it's a vastly different religion, is what I would say. And over time, we see like this religion eventually expand up into here. Which, if we go onto our main map, we can see that this is inside red territory. And speaking of this, the Floridian country and the red team are gonna come up with a little peace treaty on the border over here to decide what land gets what. Because right now this border is ugly. And here is the brand new borders. And if I quickly turn on provinces, we can see, all the provinces here. Quite a few, like the pink provinces are quite compact. But we also see new cities spawning out of nowhere. There's like 2 new here, and then there's like these 2 in the pink country. But yeah, although there's a border here, we still do see that, yeah, the green religion is hold on. Oh, wait, that's fine. The green religion does extend into red territory, so maybe something's going to come out of that. Who knows? Over like the next decades to come, we see like huge like migrations west, basically, until eventually like a lot more land is discovered. Like I'm kind of speeding up time here, but eventually we see a significant chunk of America is discovered, especially up here, as we see the first people land on Newfoundland, completely discover and like habitat that island. Obviously, the people can't explore too far up here because it is quite cold. Yeah, the expansion's starting to like this. We do see some more efforts from the blue team up north. Obviously, keep in mind this line still exists. This line like separates, like anything below is for the reds, anything above is for the blues. So the blues can't go below, whereas the reds can't go above, which is kind of a terrible deal for the blues. But that's their fault. And also, I need to color in this capital pink because it is a city of religious importance. And I'll go, oh, what? And this city is also has somewhat religious importance. But well, the whole country does. But like, it's those 2 cities that are the main epicenters for like the religion. Next, we go down to the Floridian country where we see them, do some first naval expansion. Hold on, I'm on the wrong layer. We see the pink team discover and capture all of these like little tropical islands, and they also make discovery around Cuba, and they eventually discover the whole island, whilst they take some of the land for now. We see the Floridians make a sizable like landing and claim on this island as they begin expanding their like kingdom further on down. We see up north, the magenta team take the whole island of the whole of Newfoundland. But why are there so many little, like, crevices here? We also see them take this island while also pushing out their territory, taking over more land, specifically this coast, significantly expanding their territory, giving them, even more access to this little area over here. We see the red team go ahead and expand their territory down here, like significantly, and making sure to be under blue's line. We also see blue. Hold on, let me extend this line. We also see. There we go. We also see blue expand their territory slightly, whilst they do some good expansions in the north with literally nobody to rival them up here. Now, this is where we see our first, problem evolve in this chapter, because if you're looking at this map, there is one country that's looking particularly large. And, how are they governing all that? It's the real question. And the answer is that not really. The red team is very unstable at the moment, and it looks like there's about to be some rebellions. We see a pretty sizable part of the country down in the south break away from, the giant red team, mainly highlighting that they are under the green religion. So there's some big religious divide and conflict between these two regions. Most of this country, they still don't really have much religion. The dark red should probably be expanded a bit more, but I haven't done that yet. So we'll probably do that after this whole fiasco goes down. But they're not the only country that is going to break away. We see a pretty significant breakaway up in the north as this area breaks away, aligning themselves more with, the magenta country rather than the red country, who have previously, they've been a victim of war. This has been, a battleground, it's between, almost 4 countries. It's a very tense region. And the locals of this region, so the Reds, have not been treating them well enough and have broken away. And finally, we see up here this teal country break away from the red, containing these provinces. Were basically similar to this country up here. They were poorly subjugated. This is like a remnant of the Lime team, and they are not happy with the current government of the Red, and see this chance as a way to break free and form their own country. Not to be confused with trying to join back with the Lime country, like this country trying to join with this one. This one, they want their independence. They're just descended from the Lime country. However, despite these 3 rebellions, the red team is probably still the strongest country here. And the red team is instantly, especially in the north, going to sweep through this rebellion, taking one of the major cities within a few weeks, while also threatening this second major city. We also see them pushing back against the Till team with little to no resistance, as there's very little army up here, taking up a sizable portion of their land. Whereas I guess down here, we do see the purple team have some original, early victories against the red team, as they really don't have that much army stationed here. We do see them, surprisingly manage to take this coast, which kind of makes it look like they're funded by someone. Florida. But we do see them make some success before eventually the red armies do come down and do kick them back. Although they still manage to hold out this city, which does prove to be an annoyance to the red government, as they really want that city back because it's hurting their image and making their population annoyed. As you can see right now, by the continued offensive and victory of the red team, even managing to take back this city, as well as, threatening, reaching the coastline and threatening, the Teal's only real major city, we see an outside country join. We see the magenta team join the war against the red in order to secure this land and basically, hurt the reds for limiting their expansion. Bittersweet revenge. So this is where we see our first, I would not want to say alliance, but I guess it's more like a coalition for now, but I will put it as a temporary alliance. We see it's like a square alliance. We see this country this country. This looks like a really weird color. I don't know if that's anyone else. You see this country. These are meant to be squares, by the way, if you couldn't tell, but I'm not really good at drawing squares. And we also see the purple country. But we also see the pink country officially join in on the fighting, sending their soldiers into the purple country down here. So now it's looking slightly worse for the red team. But I still say the red team can hold out. But we'll just have to, see what happens. With the support of the pink team, we instantly see the red, not under-geared, but like there's not many soldiers here because this is like new territory still. Like this is where the main population is at, really. So there's not many like people down here at the moment. And what we see is the purple team managed to easily sweep through here, mainly focusing on the coastline as they secure their border, snaking along the coastline before trying to take the city, in which they will fail to take the city. But if you look, Florida is making some incredible gains, really. We see up here with the help of the magenta team, they can push back the red slightly. However, the magenta team is nowhere near as strong as the red team. But with the combined might of these three military forces, they managed to hold a front line against the red country. But as of right now, it's kind of a stalemate. No side is particularly winning. Obviously, the red are losing in the south and winning in the north. And it's kind of like attrition as winter sets in. And everyone, bunkers down. Not trenches, because this is like... this war doesn't really make sense for the time period, but, I can make out what's happening. So... But yeah, it's kind of a stalemate along the borders. However, this stalemate does not last forever, as we see the green team go ahead and join this little square coalition against the red team and join the war. Unfortunately, however, hold on a minute, I don't know why that's like that. The red team, there we go. So the red team predicted this, and we instantly see the red team invade this area of the lime team, managing to take one of their major cities and threatening another. But their involvement of the lime team does open, a new front up here, which could threaten the encirclement of the red troops up here, to see the red troops retreat. For the first time in this war, allowing the teal team to gain back most of their borders. Although, I don't really know what the teal team owned and what this country owned. But I'm gonna assume that it looks something like this. There we go. As the war goes on, we see a clever counter-offensive in the north, as the Reds are almost fully kicked out of this rebellion territory, only holding a tiny amounts of land in a few provinces, which, creates a pretty dangerous front up in the north. We see in the south continued advancement made by the Floridian nations, as we see them take two more major cities, taking up further up the coastline, posing as a real threat to the red country, who managed to send down a few soldiers they have and push back the purple country slightly, not managing to retake their major city though. Eventually we see the green country lock in and get their troops together, and we see them push the reds fully out of their territory, only them containing one province, and we see them further make expansions up here, managing to completely secure the teal border. And by the way, any advances by the teal and the green country, I will just use the green color, because otherwise it's just going to get confusing. But yeah, this is like combined effort between these two countries. We see up here, the Reds are fully pushed out of this country as the war begins to look increasingly bad for the Red country. and many of the populace are against the war. They want their leaders to surrender and make peace, make amends. But the Reds leader, he's not having that. He feels personally insulted by this war and will continue going until the bad events happen. In a surprise attack to literally everyone, we see the red team launch a huge counter-strike, pouring in a good portion of their force into the Lime country, hoping them to blitzkrieg them out of the war. We surprisingly see this as successful, as the Lime team loses their capital, which would make them capitulate. However, the Lime team does not surrender. The support for war in the Lime team is at like 99% to 1. Like, it's absolutely huge. The Lime team, if you remember, was absolutely destroyed by the red team. They used to have so much land and it was all taken away. So, when the Lime team loses their capital, you know what they do? The people rise up. The people, they get their, like, pitchforks, farming tools, whatever, and they go ahead and they fight. And they fight brutal battles. We see some heavy losses in the Lime country. Eventually, we see the Lime country, the people of the Lime country, manage to liberate their capital, which leads to a huge encirclement of red troops along the border, which are eventually crushed by the Allied square forces, which is a huge blow for the red team, as this is like 20-30% of their army gone. The Lime team has managed to endure through this, defense. And what this eventually leads to is a huge collapse of the front in the north. A huge portion of the northern armies defect, as we see the green country, as well as the pink country, which I will do in a different color. This color? Is this a country? This color's good enough. We see the pink team and the green team meet up over here as they continue to push against the red, posing a huge threat to the country. And at this point in the war, we see a significant portion of the red military defect. We even see them make their own militaristic country down here. A huge rebellion led by one of the top generals of the red military basically bursts here. And they control a huge portion of land. They're basically the whole front that was fighting the purple team basically stopped. And these two countries work together. This allows the Floridian countries to basically just take all of this land, stealing all of this claim, pushing significantly up here. And I don't know if you can see the overlying picture, but it's not looking good for the red team. The red team are on the verge of collapsing, basically, and an uprising in the capital overthrows the leader, putting in place a leader that wants to end the war, a people's leader, and the red team signs a peace treaty, losing the war. Okay, here we are. This is going to be extremely confusing, but let's go one by one. There's a lot of lines on this map. It took me a while to think of what I wanted to do with this country, but we're going to have to amend things as we go. First of all, we'll go over to this country. It becomes independent. It takes this land. There should be one province, but let's see if I line this up properly. Yeah, it takes all of this province, going up to there, and I'll do capitals at the very end. We see this country here take this, but they join up with this country, creating a pretty big magenta country up here. We see the Lime team return to somewhat former glory. They go ahead and take this land up here that once used to be theirs. We see the military rebellion become its own country, a pretty sizable country, to be honest. Then down here we see this purple northern Floridian country take this and this before they eventually join up here with the pink country due to the religious similarities, which I will update at the end of this chapter, the religion map.
Motion detected at the front door.
Someone's at my front door. We go ahead and see a little puppet state almost of this country, which by the way, these are Vikings. We're going to be calling them the Vikings. This is a Viking empire. This is like this universe's version of the Vikings. We see the Red Country retain all of this land. So, like, the Red Country, they're not fully divided. Like, they did lose a significant portion of their land, but they still got quite a bit of land down here. They just lost quite a lot up here. Then down here, we see the formation of a bunch of new countries. We have this, like, greenish one. We have this country. This pretty sizable country here. We see this, like, toothpaste-ish color country. We see dark red country. Whatever the hell color this country is. And an orange country. So yeah, we see the formation of a bunch of new countries. And you want to know what these countries form? They're going to form this world's version of the Holy Roman Empire. Yep. We've got the Holy American Empire. That's what we're going to go with. And to show this, we're going to use... what symbol should I use? We're going to use an octagon. And we'll use white for, like, all the members, and then the leader can be black. I'm thinking... Actually, you know what I'm thinking? I've changed my mind on this country. This isn't a puppet state. This is its own country. Yep. Changing the laws. Is that country... I need a color for this. No, still... Or should we go around and go through the colors? No. No. Okay, there we go. That's a good color. Yep. We go back to alliances. Let's go black and white. And what we see is we see all these countries joining. We see this country. This country. Oh my god, these are such bad octagons. This country. This country. This country. This country. This country. And this country. There we go. That is the Holy American Empire. And the leader of this country, well, the leader, is that what it's called? Well, I don't know. I don't know what the title was for, like, the leader of the Holy Roman Empire. This is like a loose alliance. Like, infighting is fine, but like if it's outside, it's like an outside alliance. The owner of this, the first leader of this will actually be this country right here. A pretty small country compared to other big powers. But yeah. Another alliance we see, I'll get to capitals in a second, is we go ahead and see a permanent square alliance. We go ahead and see a permanent square alliance between the Lime country as well as this brand new teal country, forming our first proper alliance, indicated by yellow. And now, you might be wondering, hold on, let me quickly turn on ideologies, spoiler alert, why this country right here has not gone ahead and joined, the Holy American Empire. It makes sense. This country is actually our first country of its kind, and it is a dictatorship. Yep, we have our first dictatorship. We're going to go ahead and symbolize dictatorship by a good old cross, because dictatorships are bad. There we go. We have our first dictatorship. And down here, I don't really know how to represent, but these are all, like, monarchies. These countries are all monarchies. And I'm also going to go ahead and probably color in all of these. So the crowns, they're going to get gold. This cross is going to get black. Oh, what? This cross is going to get black. This other crown is going to get gold again. And up here, I guess I can do a red, but I'll do the lighter red. And there we go. That is the ideologies. We've got all of these are monarchies. So like this whole thing is monarchies. So that's a lot of monarchies. Just put it in the bigger country for simplicity. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 monarchies, a dictatorship, and like an early form of socialist state. It's not like pure communism yet. And now finally, let me add some capitals because I've been delaying that long enough. I probably should have done this first. Hold on, let me turn off ideologies and alliances. And I think capitals are size 8. What is going on? Go down here. That's a pink capital. Where's it? Okay. We go here. Okay, now finally moving on to capitals, which I have kind of been ignoring to focus on other things. Obviously, most of these small countries literally only have one big city, so that is going to be their capital. This country, I think they'll probably put their capital here. Capital here. Capital here. And rogue pixel here. That needs to go. Thank you. We also, I think I would put the grey country's capital here. I think that's about it. Oh, this country capital here. And this also country's also going to get a promotion, and they're going to get, I think, like 2 more big cities, because I don't like that they only have 1. They're going to get a big city here, and 1 right here. There we go. And that's going to do it for this peace treaty. Bunch of new countries, new complicated, well, a new alliance, a Holy American Empire system, which basically works as infighting's fine, but outsider attacks us, you know, we unite together. And then we also have ideologies, mainly monarchy, that we got our first dictatorship, and obviously there's still the communist country up here that's more socialist than communist. I can stop saying communist, but yeah. Now, this is the updated religion map. As you see, there's some few differences. Obviously, the dark red religion is absolutely massive. During, you know, the red team's expansion down here, they just spread the dark red religion basically everywhere except down here, which is basically just the borders of the pink country now. There will be some religion changes down here, but the main change, I guess, is this religion. Now, the red religion did have some of this land, and this new religion hasn't like gone and genocided anyone. It's just people have moved out, people have taken over new states, and it's kind of like the majority religion. So there's still some like dark red religious people, but the main religion up here is this religion, which honestly is kind of a rival. Like there's some kind of bad blood between these two religions. But you know, down here, this religion, they're kind of chilling. Hold on, let me turn capitals on cities on, because it's kind of annoying me. But yeah, we see the dark red religion is like by far the largest religion, and this border here is kind of looks a bit more like this. Like some of these cities are on the borderline between the two religions, which does have a lot of tension. Like look, 3 of the capitals here are between the green and the dark red religion of, you know, these countries respectively, which might create some tension later on. But yeah, aside from this, I'm gonna end the video with some power rankings. So yeah, I'll be back once I've done them, or I say once I've done them, I might talk them through. I don't know, I haven't decided yet, but yeah. Okay, now let's get on to the rankings. In terms, I'm gonna do it's gonna be population, economy, military, and then an overall, probably, maybe overall later, maybe not right now, seeing there's not that many countries to do like an overall top 10, because it will literally be basically every country. But in terms of number 1 for population, I'm gonna have to go with the blue country. This big blue country over here. I think it's still like huge population center. And then with number 2, despite losing all its land, I still think that the red country is probably number 2 in population. Then number 3 is gonna have to go to the lime country. Number 4, I think it could probably be the Vikings slash Florida, because while there is a lot of land up here, this land isn't too like populated up here. Like it's not, you know, super populated like this is, but like I feel like out of everything, the Vikings definitely come next. Then fifth, I want to say probably it's between these two. I'm gonna say the dictatorship slash gray country. And then number 6 is gonna be the teal country. Number 7 probably be this. What color would that even be? Like light red country. Actually, no. Number 7 would be this blue country. Like bluish, purplish country. Number 8 would be the light red country. Number 9 would be dark cyan. And number 10 will probably be this orange country here. There we go, that's the population ranking. Then, in terms of economy, number 1, the blue. Number 2, I honestly might give this to the Vikings, because they've managed to prosper an economy. There's loads of resources down here with their new conquests out. They've also got a bunch of new land. And like they've been focusing on their economy rather than full out expansion like the other countries. Number 3, I think I'm gonna have to give it to the Lion country. Number 4, I'm gonna give it to I also just realized in the population rankings I forgot the magenta country. But that would be 5th, and then everything else would be pushed down one more, but I didn't want to go with that. 4 would have the magenta. 5, we're gonna have the red country. They've taken a huge hit. They used to be number 1. Number 6, like none of them. I have to go with the dictatorship. And then that's probably just like the rest. We'll just follow after that probably. And then in terms of military, I think I'm gonna have to go with number 1, blue. Number 2, light. Number 3, but the lime is a very strong military. Number 3, I think the Vikings clearly proved themselves to be a strong military. Number 4, I'm going to have to go with the magenta team. Number 5, I also missed out the teal country, and I'm missing out so many countries, but it's like the general list. You can see which country is number 1 by a lot. You got the magenta. Number 5, I'm going to have to go with the dictatorship because it is based on... Actually, no, scrap that. Number 4 will be the dictatorship. Number 5 will be magenta. And then number 6 will be teal. And then rest follows. Oh, wait, I forgot the red country. I think as of now, red. And then this all will go down 1. Yeah, those are the rankings as of now. That is going to be it for this episode. I think I'm going to, I don't know where I'll put these rankings. I'm going to shrink them a bit. Actually, no, that's unreadable. We're going to keep the rankings, but I'm going to put them over here, so I guess I can reference them later on. But yeah, that is going to be it for this chapter. Here is the final map without any like provinces or like I'll develop capitals, but here's the final map. Got quite a few new countries, some new expansion. The collapse of the red team, like a good the rise of the blue, and especially this country down here. They're sure to be a huge player in the upcoming episodes. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this chapter. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to making the next one and watching you guys see it. So yeah, any feedback in the comments, let me know. Goodbye.